Jennings here. I want to welcome you back to our video blog and thank you again for stopping by. We're here again with David Laver, a mortgage expert from Cal Financial. And a question both David and I have been getting a lot recently is, how do I get from my current home into the next home? Do I sell first? Do I buy first? Do I hold two homes at the same time? So that's the question for this week. And before we get to that, as always, I want to point out some great free resources here on the blog. If you are considering buying, be sure to click on our Search for Homes tab, which will give you gateway access to the MLS and all the homes for sale throughout Silicon Valley. If you've been looking at homes online and you're just not seeing what you're looking for and having a hard time finding your dream home, be sure to click on our off-market property list. We currently have over 115 properties that are not on the market, and then very well maybe have something that would work for you. And finally, if you're considering selling, be sure to click on the Find My Home's Value tab, which will give you an instant estimate of your home's value, along with tips and ideas to increase your home's value before you put it on the market. Now, back to the question, how do I get from my current home to the new home? Do I sell first or do I buy first? Now, there's typically four ways to make that transition from your existing home to the new home. And number one, might be the simplest, but not necessarily the most convenient, would be to sell your current home, rent a property, say for 3 months or 6 months while you're searching for a new home, and then buy your new home and move into it. Obviously, that involves the frustration and effort in moving 2 times, which a lot of people would prefer not to do. So that usually leads people to options 2, 3, or 4. The second option would be to do what's called, or write what is called, a contingent offer. That means you're out in the marketplace, you're looking for a home to buy, you write an offer, and you tell the seller, hey, Mr. Seller, here's an offer for your property, and oh, by the way, before I can complete the transaction and close escrow on your home, I have to sell my house first. Now, in the market that we're in currently, with low inventory and very high demand, multiple offers, that kind of an offer really doesn't stand much of a chance of getting accepted. So that typically leads us to option number 3, which is called a contingent sale. This is where you actually list your property for sale, you put it on the market, we receive offers on your property, and with the final offer that we select, we tell the prospective buyer, hold on just 1 minute, we are going to accept your offer, but we will need to identify a replacement property and purchase that property or get into contract on that property before you can complete the close of escrow and purchase this home. Now, that can work in this market. It is a possibility, but it does put you a little bit at a disadvantage when you're out buying, because you're still buying with a contingent offer. At least it's contingent upon the close of escrow of your property. So then that leads us to the third option, which is basically to list the property for sale, sell the property, and do a rent back. This would mean we would market the property, receive an offer on your property, and as we're accepting the offer, we would tell the prospective buyer, hey, Mr. Buyer, we welcome you and your offer, and we thank you for your offer. We need you to allow us typically some time after the close of escrow to live in the property and rent it back from you while we find our new home. And David, typically what's the timeline now that mortgage lenders, that the buyer's lender is going to feel comfortable with allowing for that rent back?
Well, generally they want to see that for an owner-occupied loan, the person buying it is going to be in the house within 60 days. So they don't want to see rent backs beyond 60 days.
Got it. So that gives us 60-day rent back, plus usually a conventional real estate transaction has a 30-day escrow, which is about 90 days for us to find a property, purchase it, and get you moved in. I can tell you that we've successfully done that dozens of times for our clients. We've never, even in this tight market, not been able to find somebody a great home and get them moved into it. But nonetheless, that's not your only option. The final option would be in regards to pulling maybe some equity out of your property, or if you had extra cash sitting around, going out and buying that existing home. And David, what kind of options typically do people have in that scenario?
Yeah, there's financing options there too, and they're called bridge loans. So what that is basically for people who are maybe equity rich and cash poor. They get a loan against their equity for the down payment on the new purchase, so they're able to buy the new house, close it, and then sell their old house at their own pace. So neither escrow is contingent upon the other. The downside of this option is that you have to qualify with 2 mortgages. In our local market, oftentimes we see dual income families where both of them are working, they have big income, they can qualify for both, but just don't have a lot of cash saved up with how expensive housing is. So the bridge loan can be a terrific option to put you in the best possible negotiating situation, both on the sell side with no contingency and on the buy side with no contingency.
And that's probably the best of any or all options. So if you have sky-high income and great credit, then a bridge loan is going to be a great option. Second to that would be the other option that we just discussed, where we sell your home and then do a rent back after the close of escrow.
Absolutely.
So important thing to take away here is if you're feeling a little uncertain about stepping out into this market to make that move up to a new home, because you're not seeing all the options for properties that are out there, know that between the Laver Group and the Brett Jennings team here, we can facilitate this transaction and help you make that move up to the great perfect home that you're looking for. So we want to thank you again for tuning into the video blog. Thanks for stopping by, and until we talk again, this is David Laver and Brett Jennings saying we'll be right here, ready to help you create a better life through real estate.